Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, the game that started it all, the game that made Call of Duty what it is today. Without this game, we wouldn't have got instant classics like Warzone and the Beavis and Butthead skins. Despite previous games like COD 2 being huge commercial successes, Call of Duty Modern Warfare the first really revolutionized the franchise. And not just that, it forever changed up the first-person shooter genre as a whole. I won't lie, I was around 5 years old at the time it came out, but due to a tiny bit of bad parenting, I did have a crack at it. I mean, all I did was throw flashbangs up in the air when my dad passed me the controller, but I did play it back in 2007. It still counts. No, it doesn't. Yes, it does! Anyways, my memories of the game specifically revolve around the campaign, and for good reason too, because the campaign is just mwah. So just like my Black Ops video, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's as shat as this one. I'm going to talk a bunch of nonsense about the campaign, recap the story, and see if we can make it into a somewhat watchable video.
Subscribe to your boy, Enryece.
COD 4 starts with Sergeant Soap McTavish, you know, the Scottish bloke with the mohawk, fresh out of selection on his first day at the SAS training ground in Credenhill, United Kingdom.
I'm listening to M3B by Millie B, yeah?
After browsing a selection of 240p quality bags of salt and vinegar crisps, Soap picks up his first rifle and starts his training, learning how to aim and shoot. To be honest, I don't know how he even got into the SAS if he doesn't know how to shoot, but maybe he's just built different or something, I don't know. No, I don't want to reverse my controls. He gets more shooting lessons from Gaz, who is an absolute British legend in the streets, even teaches Soap how to switch his weapon, an essential tactic in Call of Duty survival.
Pull out your sidearm.
Show me your willy!
But the most important lesson of all is yet to be taught.
Knife the watermelon.
You what?
Knife the watermelon.
You want me to knife the...
Knife the watermelon.
Nice. Your fruit killing skills are remarkable.
I guess now Soap is officially a soldier? Gaz tells Soap that Mr. Captain Price wants to see him, so he heads over there, blowing up a car along the way. Soap is introduced to Captain Price, and instantly he gets violated.
What the hell kind of name is Soap, eh? How'd a muppet like you pass selection?
What do you mean, what kind of mustache is that, you dickhead? Also, fun fact, his name is Soap because of his speed and accuracy in room clearance techniques. In simple words, he could cap your entire family in 2 milliseconds. Price tells Soap it's his turn for the CQB test, which is just a little assault course testing our Call of Duty skills before we get into some real action. I don't know who the hell IW is, but they must be a literal crackhead at the game. I genuinely tried running this assault course for like 20 minutes straight. Yes, 20 minutes of my life were wasted. And the best score I got was 16.7 seconds. Tell me who the hell is getting 15 seconds?
That was an improvement, but it's not hard to improve on garbage.
Shut your fucking mouth!
Anyway, Soapy Boy completes the test and Price says the cargo ship mission is a go. I am not playing on veterans. Starting up our first mission of the game, Crew Expendable, at 1:30 in the morning somewhere near the Bering Strait, wherever that is. On the way to the cargo ship, Price goes to Spliff, and the team equips their fresh designer masks. What is that hairline? The team rappel onto the ship and take out some enemies as soon as they land. Heading downstairs, they find a soldier drunk out of his mind. I mean, that's one way to cure alcoholism, I guess. Heading into another room, Soap finds some soldiers dreaming about all the nice things they're gonna rest in peace. They head further through the ship, killing a ton of guys along the way, until they get to, whoa, it's a container with a package of plutonium inside. Unfortunately, there's no time to secure the package as two are on their way to the ship, so Soap picks up the manifest, and they head out to get off the ship when, out of nowhere, the cargo ship is shot at. Yeah, whatever. It's not like I'm gonna drown or anything. After some intense running whilst the ship is sinking, the team jump onto the chopper. Soap starts slipping, but Price saves him just in time, leaving the cargo ship sinking to the bottom of the ocean. Bringing us to the next mission where President Al-Falani, who is the president of Saudi Arabia, is captured by Khalid al-Assad's men, who is the leader of the Op 4 and one of the big bad guys of this game, by the way. The president gets dashed into a shiny brand spanking new Ferrari and smacked around the head with a gun. Ow, what the hell was that for? Then some bloke in an Adidas tracksuit turns round to show us his nasty trim. This is Victor Sakayev, who is also another bad guy. Oh God, he looks worse from the back. They drive through the streets, passing by soldiers, brutally unaliving civilians, until they finally get to their destination. A soldier grabs the president out of the car, throws him on the floor, and knocks him out. Fading in and out of consciousness, the president gets dragged towards some bald dude with a beard. No, it can't be. Imran Zakhaev, Victor's daddy, and the leader of the ultranationalists. Yo, your breath stinks, man. The president gets tied to a pole, and look who it is. It's Khalid al-Assad. Zakhaev hands him a shiny Desert Eagle. Al-Assad walks up to the camera. He then walks over to the president and... assassinating him on live television. Remember, people actually used to watch TV back in 2007 when this game came out, so this is a pretty big deal. We're back with the SAS lads, and they found out that their informant Nikolai, the 6'2" Russian giant, who is the guy that gave the info about the cargo ship, by the way, so they need to rescue him. Starting the next mission, Blackout, taking Soap, Price, and Gaz to the Caucasus Mountains of Russia. They do a bit of stealth killing and destroy some TVs. Eventually, they get to a field where Sergeant Kamarov comes out of nowhere, introducing himself. He's a Russian loyalist, so the good Russians, not the bad Russians, so yeah, he's cool. So provides sniper support for Kamarov's men, and after some epic sniper support, Captain Price and Gaz get a little bit impatient because Kamarov knows where the informant is.
We should just beat it out of him, sir.
The team take out the enemy reinforcements at the power station and provide even more sniper support from the cliff. Clearly, Kamarov is taking the piss. Price, Gaz, and Soap follow Kamarov to the power station, where they provide some more sniper support.
Enough sniping. Where is the informant?
Screw your sniper support. Finally, with the location of the informant, the team rappel down from the power station and head to rescue Mr. Nikolai. They take out a bunch of enemies and arrive at Nikolai's location, a crusty house at the end of the village. Gaz cuts off the power to the house, so Price and Soap head inside using their night vision. That sound tickles my balls so good. The soldiers are so bamboozled by the darkness that Soap quickly takes them all out with ease. They don't call him Soap for nothing. The team finally find Nikolai in the final room. I mean, he looked better on his Tinder profile.
Disgusting!
Taking him to a nearby helicopter, saving him, and getting the hell out of there. Switching to a new character called Sergeant Paul Jackson of the USMC in pursuit of Al-Assad, the guy who took out the president earlier. Starting the next mission, Charlie Don't Surf. Jackson repels from the helicopter with his squad and they breach the HQ building searching for Al-Assad. They take out some of the ARC-4 goons, but unfortunately Al-Assad isn't there, so they head to regroup with the rest of their team. On the way there, they get word that Al-Assad is actually at the TV station. Jackson and friends make their way there, taking out a bunch of enemies along the way till they get to the door of the TV station. They bust through the door, eliminate a bunch of enemies, and meet up with the rest of their squad, including my day one Staff Sergeant Griggs. With the entire squad back together, they search the final floor of the TV station. They kick down the door and Al-Assad is nowhere to be found. God damn it! Jackson takes out his anger on every TV screen in the building, and rightfully so, because I'd be pretty pissed too. I want to kind of, yeah, whatever the hell that is. Next mission, the bog. After pushing towards the city where Al-Assad is apparently at, a tank called War Pig is stuck in the bog. Playing as Jackson once again, the team push towards some apartments and turn on their night vision. Heading up the stairs, Jackson saves Private Royschwicks. Anyways, he should be thankful. And they continue up the stairs, taking out every OP-4 enemy in sight, clearing out the entire building. Oh my god, a watermelon?
Nice the watermelon.
The squad head outside and take out the RPGs on the bridge. Jackson then picks up this bad boy, the Javelin, and proceeds to obliterate every tank in sight. With all that out of the way, they can finally head towards the War Pig in the bog. Jackson and the rest of the team take out the enemies that are heading towards the tank. And Jackson, being the absolute bad man he is, he takes out a nearby ZPU anti-aircraft gun. Jackson places a beacon for air support, the chopper comes in and sends everyone back to the lobby. The squad regroup at the tank and plan what happens next with one of the best drawings I've ever seen. Taking us to the next mission, playing as the good old British lads once again, taking place directly after securing Mr. Nikolai. Price talks about his addiction to beads on toast till out of nowhere, a missile hits the chopper, taking it out of the sky. Soap fades in and out of consciousness, but Price wakes him up and says that they need to get out of there.
Get up.
I honestly love how the most important character survives that helicopter crash, but the other randoms, yeah, just screw them, they can die. The team head towards a farm, I think, and watches some Russian goons interrogate an old man. But Soap absolutely loves old men, so he quickly takes them out before they can harm the old man. They jump over a fence. Whilst running across the field, a chopper heads their way, so they go prone, becoming invisible to the spotlight. I mean, I'm sure they would have seen them lying there on the ground, but it is Call of Duty. It doesn't even need to make sense. Anyways, it was pointless either way, because moments later, some enemies come out of nowhere and they have to fend them off for about 20 minutes before Gaz finally opens the door to the house. They head through the house, take out some baddies, and head outside. Ooh, my favorite drink. They kill a bunch more dudes, do some sneaking, kill even more ultra-nationalists, and Soap finally takes out a chopper with the good old Stinger. GG's, bro. The squad follow Price till out of nowhere, someone called in the AC-130 kill streak. Starting the next mission, Death from Above, where we play as some random AC-130 gunship, protecting Captain Price and his team whilst they head to the extraction point. This mission is pretty simple, just shoot things whilst trying to avoid friendly fire.
You're firing too close to the friendly
It's way harder than it looks, I promise. Also, I know this game came out in 2007, but I wear glasses and I can't see shit. Like, what is this quality? Anyways, a bunch of shooty happens, then the squad get to the extraction point, taking us to the next mission, War Pig. We're back with the Americans continuing from the bog mission. As they push towards the capital city, they escort War Pig, which is finally working again, taking out a bunch of Op 4 soldiers. Ooh, more watermelon.
Knife the watermelon.
After some fruit killing action, Jackson continues to fight through waves of the Op 4, push a bin, and finally get to a building till out of nowhere, an enemy tank pulls up and... well, that was easy. The team head to the extraction point and they finally have a fix on Al-Assad's position. So they hop on board, starting the next mission, shock and awe. Finally having Al-Assad's location, but also info that he may have a Russian nuclear warhead in his hands. Naughty boy. Jackson takes out a shit ton of enemies with a mounted grenade launcher, racking up points like a madman. A tank violates a car. They drop off some of the boys, but the advanced recon team is pinned down somewhere in the city, so they head there to go and assist them. Jackson fights his way through and gets to the recon team. They take out some enemies together. Sergeant Boone! They head back onto the chopper, saving the recon team. All friendly forces are told to head back to the east due to a possible nuclear device in Al-Assad's crib. Get me the hell out of here! But on the way, a friendly chopper gets shot down, but despite a nuclear warning, the squad head in to rescue the downed pilot anyway. Oh, for fuck! They hop out, Jason picks up the pilot, hops back in the chopper, and they head out of there. All seems to be going well till out of nowhere.
Everyone, hang on!
Was she really worth it? The nuclear bomb wipes out everyone, and I mean everyone in the surrounding area, including Jackson's entire squad, taking us to the next mission where Jackson is barely still alive. Jackson collapses, and the screen turns white. Absolutely brutal. Taking us to the next mission, Safehouse, back with the Brits in northern Azerbaijan, where Al-Assad's Safehouse is located. This time, he isn't getting away. The team search every house, taking out a bunch of the ultra-nationalists and dying about 50 times. With no sign of Al-Assad in any of the buildings, Soap and the rest of the team head towards the barn. Price dashes a flashbang inside and storms through the door, capturing Al-Assad finally. Price interrogates him. Until Al-Assad's BlackBerry phone rings, Gaz throws it to Price and he answers it.
You want the fucking door? I'm Gaz, that's Methodology. I call that mouse.
It was that bold dude with a beard from earlier, the big bad guy leader of the ultra-nationalists, bringing us all the way back to 15 years ago in a flashback, playing as Price when he was a lieutenant under the command of Captain Macmillan in Pripyat, Ukraine. I can't even say that. Like, how am I supposed to read that all ghillied up? One of the most iconic missions in Call of Duty history. And if you don't know already, it's a stealth mission. Dressed up in the most fashionable piece of clothing in Britain, the ghillie suit, Macmillan and Price do a bit of crawling and take out 2 unsuspecting soldiers with their epic sniper skills. They head through doing some sneaking and more sniping till they get to a church tower. Macmillan commands Price to take out the lookout in the church. He obliges like the good little pricey wicey he is. He also takes out another soldier for that extra kill for his kill streak.
Tango down.
The ghillied up duo head through the church till they get to a massive field, where an entire patrol of enemies and tanks are making their way through. So they have no choice but to get down and stay very, very still, letting the entire patrol pass them. I can't lie, this is one of the most intense parts in any game I've ever played. Luckily, they didn't get spotted and head further up, taking out a bunch of enemies nearby, dumping bodies.
They're onto us. Open fire.
Some more sneaky action and intense crawling and running later, they finally get to the city area.
Leave it alone. It's a wild dog.
You can't tell me what to do. Oh shit, run! Price and Macmillan head through some mashed up, dusty buildings, and Macmillan says the famous quote,
50,000 people used to live in the city. Now it's a ghost town.
Finally, at the top of the hotel of the roof a few hours later, Price takes point with a Barrett 50 cal sniper rifle, ready to take out Imran Zakhaev, the bald-headed loser. Starting the second part of the mission, 1 shot, 1 kill. I'ma put this picture on my wall. Price scopes in, waiting for Zakhaev, till he pops out, attempting to sell uranium fuel rods to the Russian ultra-nationalists. Waiting for the right moment, a stupid chopper gets in the way, but moves about 5 seconds later, so it's alright. Price adjusts his aim and fires, shooting Zakhaev's arm clean off. Hopefully it wasn't his wanking hand. Now that their location is compromised, Price shoots down the chopper, and the duo rappel down the building just in time before it explodes. They both fight their way through the streets to head to the extraction point till they get pinned by a helicopter and have no choice but to shoot it down. Pew, pew, pew. It comes crashing down, but it just about nearly takes out McMillan, breaking his leg or something. I don't know.
Bollocks, my leg's all messed up. I can't move.
I think he's just lazy. So Price picks him up, and after about 5 minutes of picking him up and putting him down to shoot people, they finally get to the extraction point, which is at this massive Ferris wheel. I want to have a go on that ride. The extraction team are over 8,000 meters away. What the fuck? So Price throws McMillan down on the ground, sets up some claymores, and protects McMillan till the help arrives, taking out about 20,000 enemies in the process. Trust me, this is one of the longest missions I've ever played in my entire life. The helicopter pulls up and they get away safely, bringing us back to the present day, 8 hours after Al-Assad's death. Starting our next mission, Heat. Al-Assad's teammates start a counterattack due to Price taking out their daddy. So Soap and the boys defend the southern hill until the enemies pot some smoke grenades and start firing mortars on their position, so they have no choice but to fall back. Soap hops on a minigun in a nearby down chopper, unaliving some more enemies and covering the western flank. Falling back even further, Soap uses 4 detonators to delay the enemies, giving them time to run back to the barn to get the javelin and take out the enemy tanks. So now it's an all-out survival mode till the helicopter arrives.
Oh, it's got to be taking a piss! We've just busted our asses to get to this LZ, and now they want us to go all the way back down!
So yeah, they wasted all their time running back to the barn to run all the way back down to where they came from at the new LZ. With only 3 minutes on the clock, Soap and the boys run back down to the new LZ, taking out a bunch of enemies along the way. The helicopter finally arrives containing my boy Griggs. Hoorah! And they get the hell out of there. Seeming as though Imran Zakhaev is nowhere to be found, Captain Price has a plan to capture his precious little boy Victor. Luckily, Kamarov comes in clutch with the info on his location. Starting the next mission, the Sins of the Father. This time everyone is teaming up, the USMC, the SAS, and the Russian loyalists. Soap shows off his epic hard scoping skills, and they take out every enemy soldier at the checkpoint. Captain Price then remembers how much he loves the Hitman series, so he commands everyone to change into the enemy's uniforms, ready to ambush the Zakhaev's son. 2 hours later, Soap and Griggs chill in the watchtower next to 2 lovers. Aw, that's cute. Then Victor arrives.
Wanker.
So they take out everyone, but unfortunately they have reinforcements, and the watchtower gets knocked down. In a daze, Soap sees Victor run away. So Soap and Griggs chase after him, running into dogs and tons of ultra-nationalist goons along the way. After a bunch of chasing and shooting, they finally corner him on the roof of a building. Victor puts his hands up and Soap moves closer to restrain him, but he dips out of the lobby, taking himself out. This pisses off Zakhaev, so he heads to a launch facility in Russia and threatens the world as revenge for his son's death, taking us to the next mission, Ultimatum, in the Altai Mountains in Russia. Unfortunately, Griggs is missing from the parachute jump the team did, and has activated his emergency transponder, so the team head to his location. On the way, they kill a couple of guys and get to the final door with Griggs inside. They bust through the door Rainbow Six style and find Griggs tied to a chair. Soap unties him and they head to the power transmission tower. Soap plants C4 on the tower, cutting the power, allowing another squad to infiltrate the nuclear facility. Price and Griggs split up with the rest of the team to find an alternate route to the facility, while Soap and Gaz and some other random guy we don't care about push on through. They fight a bunch of goons and they finally meet back up with Price, Griggs, and the American sniper team. Then out of nowhere, Zakhaev launches 2 missiles heading towards America, with the casualties potentially being 41 million. So the team head towards the facility to take the launch control center, starting the next mission, all in. They fight their way through the facility, taking out some tanks, and pretty much do everything Call of Duty related. What the hell was that? After clearing everyone out, the team cut open the air vents and they rappel down, taking us straight to the next mission. No fighting in the war room. They sneak through some vents and find bodies all over the place. You shouldn't have dropped the soap, buddy. With only 10 minutes till the impact of the missiles, the squad race through, taking out every single enemy along the way till they get to this door.
Guys, can't you make it open faster?
Negative, sir. You can try pulling it if it makes you feel better.
Shut your fucking mouth!
Soap takes out a few more enemies, plants some C4 on the wall to the launch control room and blows it up. They head inside, unalive everyone. Soap hops on his gaming PC and uploads the abort codes, destroying the nuclear missiles while in flight. Hoorah! They witness Zakhaev escaping in the helicopter, but they all need to get out of this, so the team head towards the vehicle depot, hop in the truck and leave. The final mission, baby. Game over. Soap provides covering fire from the truck, helping the team to reach the secondary extraction point. And after some epic car action, shooting, and trying to take down the chopper, and I mean try, the helicopter takes out the bridge.
Stop the bloody truck!
Soap moves as fast as he can.
Bro, what?
Whilst the bridge is collapsing, Soap and Price climb their way up and take out as many incoming enemies as they can in a fight to the death until... With Soap critically injured, Griggs drags him to safety, being a complete badass and... Soap looks over to Price and looks back up, seeing Zakhaev. No, not again! My boy Griggs and Gaz, it's heartbreaking, man. Luckily, before Soap suffers the same fate, a helicopter distracts Zakhaev. Rookie move. Soap looks over to Captain Price, he slides him a pistol, Soap picks it up and... It's finally over. Zakhaev is dead. Kamarov pulls up with the other loyalists and helps out Soap. Soap looks over to Captain Price, seeing a Russian medic trying to resuscitate him with no luck and no signs showing he is alive. Soap looks up and the screen fades to white. Credits roll. The end. Wait a minute, what's this? Mile High Club, a notorious speedrunning COD mission where you shoot a bunch of dudes, secure the VIP, and jump out the plane. The end. Anyways, I hope you did enjoy this video. I might make a video on Modern Warfare 2, but I'm not too sure, so let me know if you'd like to see that. But yeah, anyways, have a nice rest of your day. Goodbye.